see, so we have 20 totally. So excluding the three of us from the AKC team, we have 17 participants, and I hope this number grows. Okay, so yeah, so today we have an activity, introduction to an activity plan. So what we are going to do today is have a discussion on digital entrepreneurship. I'm pretty sure most of you know much more on digital entrepreneurship than I do. So we'll have a discussion, and then I will give you an activity that you need to complete in the next 1 or 2 days. We will just see how that goes. Okay, so I'm going to start sharing my screen. Yeah, so I assume you can all see my slide. Okay, I also need you to do one other thing. I'm experimenting with something called Slido. So I'm going to, which is useful. So I've copied a link. I am going to have this, share this in the, yeah, I want to add this to the chat box. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I can see some of you introducing yourself. That's good. I can see, welcome Syed Ruhul Andrabi from FOMS. You're a research scholar. Very nice. And we have a student, Revti Ranjan from BSc first year of hotel management. Yeah, can a few others, can you all quickly type in the chat box your name and where you're from? Just 5 minutes if you can do that. And I also want you to copy this link and paste it in one of your browsers and see if it works. Rizwan, can you check this and see if it works? The Slido link?
Yes, ma'am, it is working.
Okay, good. So I can see, good. There is Durgesh Kumar from Bihar. Durgesh Kumar, what course are you doing at Surbi? So we have Iswar from CSC IT.
What's ma'am? What are you saying? I cannot hear you properly, ma'am.
Yeah, Ishwar, what course? Not Ishwar. Durgesh Kumar, you're from
I am my course. Yeah. I'm Durgesh Kumar from Bihar, ma'am, and my course. I am BTech first year, and my branch is Computer Science Engineering CSC.
Okay. Excellent, very nice. Yeah. We would like you to tell us
Thank you.
what course you are doing. Thank you for introducing yourself. So I can see there is Vamshi, Ishwar, Lalit Kumar from BTech Biotech, Balaji from Physiotherapy, Anupriya from Physiotherapy, Priya from B.Ed, Surbhi, Information, Eduleracy, EC Department, Hamida, Sanaya, BSc HMCT, Vignesh, Shravan, Soumya. So excellent. I think almost everybody has introduced yourself. Very good. Okay. I would, let's just try this out. I'm experimenting this for the first time. So I'm going to activate a poll. So Rizwan, you need to just tell me whether this is working. So okay. I want to know what are your expectations from this session. So I have posted a link in the chat box. Yeah, let me copy and paste it again. I would like each of you click on that link and that should take you to a website. And there I have activated a question and I need you to, yeah, I can see it's working. So it's probably Rizwan who's typing, but I would like all of you to, yeah. So you can select multiple options also. Whatever you think are your expectations from this session, you can post that. Yeah. Okay, I should be able to share this screen with you. Rizwan, I don't know how it is. Will people be able to see the screen as
Yes, ma'am, they can.
They can? Okay.
After submitting the poll, they can see the screen.
Okay.
The result.
Okay, good. Okay, so I have about 13 people have responded till now. Let me wait for a few minutes. So since there are 20 people, let's see if the others have responded. Yeah, we have about 17 people who have responded. Yeah, so it's good that, you know, I can see, oh, good. 19 people have responded and most of them, 89%, want to learn specific skills in entrepreneurship. 47% of the participants want to learn to network with peers. 21% want to build their CV. And 15% are just curious with no expectations. So I think that's just excellent. So very good. So we will continue to use this. I'm going to stop this poll right now. I'm going to deactivate this poll and we will get back to this. Keep this tab open. We will be using it again. Okay, let me now share my screen. Yeah. So we are going to talk about entrepreneurship in the digital world. I will, so like I said, you know, this should be more of a discussion. Okay, I'm going to share whatever I know. Who is a digital entrepreneur? I did some Wikipedia searching and, you know, gave me a definition. It's somebody who creates and manages a business using the internet and information technology. So that's a good definition. And why would people want to do that? The advantages are you can start your business at a very low cost because all you need is a good computer and a stable internet connection. You don't need to rent an office or office furniture, secretary, etc. So you start at a lower cost and your business is scalable. If you're doing something for 10 people, you can very easily do the same business for 100 people without incurring extra cost. Compare that with a catering service. Now, if you are delivering for 10 people and you suddenly decide to deliver for 100 people, you have to put in a lot of investment in your time, in the raw material, machines, etc. In most cases, in digital entrepreneur, it's not that difficult. And no, there are no boundaries. You can reach across national barriers. So these look like very good points. So let me again. I would like to take you to the yeah. I'm just activated a poll. Okay, I have a word cloud. There is a question there. I hope all of you can see that question. So most of you would have heard about digital entrepreneurship. So what do these people do? Can you just type in any word and we can see, we'll be able to see that. So, yeah, so can you? Okay. Work through cloud, yes. Self-service via internet. Explore. Networking. Marketing, digital marketing. Remote working. Self-business. Business growth through digitalization. So yeah, so I think we're getting good responses. So digital entrepreneurs typically sell their service via internet, use it for growing their business. They use cloud. They have a remote working option. Yeah, so let's keep this for a few more minutes. So very interesting answers from all of you. Okay, let's get back to my slide. So yeah, so what you people said was true. What entrepreneurs do to make money? Some of them develop websites. This could be simple websites or complicated websites. They can create content. They could be a blogger. They could work on creating leads for marketing. They might create some software for managing money, payments, e-commerce, online delivery. They can help in online meetings, online education. So a lot of these things, services that they do, very similar to the answers that you have given me. Okay, let's have a quick quiz. Okay, I have the name of an entrepreneur here and their business. It could be the business they started with also. So will you be able to find the answer? So you can give your answers in the chat box. Or somebody can even unmute themselves and speak. Would somebody like to unmute and give the answers? Can I stop sharing and see if there are any messages in the chat box? Zoom by Eric Yuan, yeah. Yeah, Anupriya, can you unmute and tell us some of the answers?
Very good evening, ma'am.
Evening, Anupriya.
Yeah, ma'am. Eric Yuan discovered Zoom video, ma'am, and Ravindran was Byju's, and Vijay Shekhar Sharma Paytm, I guess, but I'm not sure about that.
You're correct. You're correct.
That's great. And Jeff Bezos was Digital Bookshop, I think, and Sridhar Vembu was SaaS customer relationship support.
Okay, excellent. Fantastic, Anupriya.
Thank you, ma'am.
So here are the answers. So Jeff Bezos, who is the CEO of Amazon, He started it as a digital workshop, a digital bookshop. And Sridhar Vembu, what he has now, it is called Zoho. It initially started off as a customer relationship support system. And Eric Yuan left a job to start Zoom video solutions. Vijay Shekhar Sharma started Paytm, and Ravindran and his wife, they started Baiju. So these are all some examples of digital entrepreneurs who are doing very well. Now let's think of what are the skills that are needed for to be a digital entrepreneur. So, I made a list. I said technology. They need to be good in technology. They need to understand what a customer requires. They need a passion to solve a problem with the correct solution fit. They need a background to start and run a company. They need to be able to attract funding. That is, know somebody who will give them funding. They have the ability to scale up, manage a team. So these are some things that I put up. So let's now go to the Slido. Yeah, I'm going to stop this. Yeah, I would like you to present in a new tab. So I've just activated this tab. Okay, I would like you to share with me what all do you think is very important in the skills that I have given here. According to you, what is most important? So yeah, it's interesting to see how the answers are changing. Okay, about 17 people have answered. I'm really excited. The maximum marks have gone to this thing, which is ability to understand the customer need. Then comes the passion to solve a problem with a solution fit. Then comes managing a team, and after that, and I'm glad, attracting funding or background to start and run a company, that is not as important. So this is fantastic. You've all given me the right answer that I'm looking for. So I'm going to stop this now. And I need to get back to my presentation. Yeah. So, however good technology skilled you are, it's important to understand the customer and offer the right solution fit. Okay, I have one more question. It's very similar to what we had. What's most important in an entrepreneurial venture? The customer pain point should be really huge, or customers so much so that it changes for the better with the new technology. Technology is patented. Look and feel of the product. You have expertise in creating the product. Customer is ready to pay for your service or product. So let's see. I'm going to take you to the Slido page. Yeah, let's see. Yes. Let's see what your answers are. So among the choices I've given, what do you think is most important? Okay. What 19 of us have answered. And I can see that one very important factor is that the customer's life must change for the better with the new technology intervention. Customers' pain point should be large enough. You should be able to create the product and customers should be ready to pay. So patenting, look and feel are not that important. Okay, good. I am glad we are all in the same page. So this is a slide which I really like. It explains which innovation becomes really successful. So we need to start with an innovation which is desirable because it solves a problem that a customer has. But it's not just desirable. It also should be a feasible product. No, I should have access to people who can create this product. So it should be feasible. And thirdly, it should be viable. I cannot spend my money to create a product just because somebody desires it. It needs to be able to generate some revenue. Only then it becomes viable. So this sweet spot here, this is the innovation which becomes successful. So there are a lot of products that we all need. There's a desirable, and we can think of plenty of products which can be made to solve these issues. So this is what is technologically feasible. But only if it is viable, that is somebody is ready to pay for it and making it is not so expensive, only then we have an innovation which is a success. Okay, today we are going to have a challenge. So step one, we would like to make a multidisciplinary team. So let's see. So Rizwan, what sort of teams can we make today? So we have, if I just stop sharing this, we have 24 participants.
20 participants in
20,
total, ma'am,
20 or
excluding us.
Okay, 20.
20 participants. So I have quickly listed out. Should I say, or else I'll just share along with their phone number?
Yeah, you need to share it along with the phone number.
Okay. Okay. So give me some time so that I'm just already in process of sorting out along with the phone number. I'll just drop the complete text in the WhatsApp group.
Okay, great. And in this chat box. Okay, so what we are going to do is, okay, we will make a multidisciplinary team, possibly 3 people in each group and from diverse departments. So, and you will need to get to know each other. So we've given you, we are sharing the phone numbers. You can have a con call, WhatsApp. When we have a 10-minute break, you can have a con call and discuss and decide what you want to do. So each team is going to be given a task. So I'm going to talk about a few digital skills. I'm only going to talk to you about it. You probably know, or even if not, you can learn it maybe in an hour or two. So we'll talk about a few digital skills. Then I'm going to share some problem statements or suggestions for a digital product. You will need to discuss with your team and you need to create that digital product. It will be fairly simple. You will be able to create it without a problem. You create that product and then you will submit the link to us and one Google Slides pitch deck answering a few questions as to what is the technology you have used, who's your customer, what is the product you have made, and how can you make money out of this? So this is the activity that we are going to give you. Okay. So any questions? Any clarifications? Yeah.
Can you explain the last thing? submit the link. Yeah.
Yeah, so you will create a digital product. So it could be a website. So, for example, a website which gives recommendations on which movie to watch. Okay, so if you create that product, you need to submit the link to this product and a Google Slides pitch deck, which will answer a few questions that we will give you. So you need to submit the product and the Google Slides pitch deck.
Yeah, got
Okay.
it, ma'am.
Okay, so at the end of this, we will discuss how much time you need to create this. Okay, I have, how much time do I have? Okay, I have about half an hour. Let me, yeah. So before I do the next thing, I'd like to know how familiar you are with these skills. So here is a, yeah, so I've just activated a Slido page. I would like to know from all of you, how familiar are you with the following tools? So not just using it, I want to know if you have ever created something like this, something using these tools, like a forms and surveys, chatbot, image identification, website building, app building. I've just given a few. Maybe some of you might be bloggers. If you've done something other than this, you can put that in the chat box. So, are you familiar? I've not got any answers yet.
Ma'am, we are not able to save the option.
You're not able to?
Save the option which we have selected.
To see the options. Oh, okay. Let me see what has happened. Okay, I'm going to deactivate and activate the poll. The same link, if you share, you're not able to see. So what I'm putting on the screen, the same link that I gave you some time back, if you share that, you should be able to see this form. Not able to see?
Ma'am, we can able to see,
Ma'am,
ma'am,
we
but
can see the.
Not able to poll, ma'am.
yes,
Not
ma'am.
able to use the poll. I think
We
it's
can send.
a
can send
ranking
one.
poll. I think it's a slider probably. It's not a multiple choice, it's a ranking poll. You have to probably it's supposed to be a ranking poll. You should be able to slide this link. Not happening?
Ma'am,
Right here.
the send button
Yes,
is not working.
correct. You have to slide it. Yeah. So this is a ranking poll that I tried. Yeah. So now is everybody able to use it? Yeah. So good. I can see most of you are familiar with the forms and surveys. And some of you are familiar with building a website. Okay, so this is good. I'm glad you're familiar with some of the digital tools. So it really makes my job easier. Okay, Durgesh says he's created a FB chatbot. Okay, good. Okay, very good. So let's get back. Okay, now what I'm planning to do is just talk to you about a few. There are so many digital apps. I'm going to talk only about a few skills, and we'll just look at the forms. So Google Forms, or no, you can create surveys with SurveyMonkey, etc. Google Form is very easy. So why do people use a Google Form? So if you do a customer survey, it can give very important clues to plan your marketing strategy better. For example, we were doing from Abdul Kalam Center, we were doing a poll for an admission to an MBA IEV program, and we were trying different channels through email marketing or through social media, then in-person giving talks, etc. So when we had a tool where people were asking for an admission, we asked, how did you come to this page? So that told us which email marketing was hitting the right segment, customer segment. So customer surveys can give you very important clues if it is made very smartly. Okay, in your classes, very often your teacher uses a scientific quiz to test your knowledge. And I've seen places where your personality can be assessed using a Google form. It has various questions, and when you answer, it tells you, gives a prediction of your personality. So there are a lot of uses for Google form. And I assume that most of you know how to create a Google form. So I'm sure you all know, but I'm just going to. So you need to go to forms.google.com, and from here you all have a Gmail ID. You can create a quiz, assessment, worksheet, course evaluation. This is fairly straightforward, isn't it? You can either start off with a new query, new Google form, in which case you can give a name to your survey. You click here, the same thing comes here. Then you can ask a question. You can say whether you want a short answer, paragraph. So if you want to know somebody's name, you would prefer to give a short answer text. And you can say it is required. Copy this, ask for email, or you can ask some other question. Can be multiple choice, can be check boxes, can be drop down. So there are various things that you can do. You can make it compulsory or not. Since most of you said you're familiar with creating a Google form, I'm not going into details. After you create this survey, you can click on send, copy this link, and share it with the people that you want to ask this question. So before that, you need to ensure, by looking at the settings, ensure that it is not restricted to any particular group, and you have an option to convert it into a quiz. You can make it a quiz and assign marks if you want, and you can decide when you want to shuffle question order, show progress bar. You can do all of these things. You can also do some cool things here. If you have a checkbox, you have an option here. You can decide to. So for example, if you have a question, who is the CEO of Apple? and you put something. If you want to get a photograph of Tim Cook, you can search with the Google image. And you can insert. So you can do a lot of these things. You can add other options and add to make it more attractive. And you can say, if you answer yes or no, if you answer yes, you'll go to section A. If you answer no, you go to section B. All of these things are possible. So this is just an intro to a Google form. Okay, now let's see what is the next tool we can learn very quickly. Creating a website today is very simple. Even somebody like me can create a website in about 20 minutes. It may not be fantastic like what Rizwan or somebody else might do, but I can make a website. So I can make a free website in Google Sites or Wix or Adobe Spark. All of these things I can use my Gmail ID. Let me share with you. I created a website today in Google Sites. So I can just publish. Yeah, I need to share this. So this is the website, web address. I'm going to share it in the Zoom chat box. Okay, can you click on this website and see if you're able to view the website that I created?
No, ma'am.
You're not able to view? Okay, let me see
No.
what is
It
wrong.
shows error, ma'am.
Not able to see it?
No, ma'am.
No? Okay,
No,
let me
ma'am.
just.
The requested URL was not found on the server.
Okay, let me see how I can. Yeah, copy link. And the chat box is. Yeah, here. Try this now.
No, ma'am.
Still, you're not able to see this.
It's showing error, ma'am.
That is an error, ma'am.
It's working.
It's working for somebody. Somebody says it's working. Oh, good. Is anybody able to see this? Okay, so this is a website that I created with just 3 pages. So how did I do this? I went into my Google Drive and opened a form. So you can see my screen. I clicked on New, More. Here I used Google Sites. Okay, so it's very straightforward. We can add something here. My website. You can change the font. You can change this. Then the second page, you can change this color. You can change this image. You can add the next page. Add images here. You can have a table of contents. So this is quite friendly for most people. And it may not be fantastic, but it can do most of the activities that we need. If I want to have a website of myself, I would like to have my CV, publications, etc. I can do that. I can have a table of contents, add headings, and they will appear. So this is doable, isn't it? So I use this to create my website here for an MBA IEV course. I said what it is about. So there are 3 parts. And if somebody wants to apply, they need to click on this. And I can share a link, a Google form link. Yeah, this is doable. Most of you will be able to do this, right? So if you want something more exciting, you can use either Wix or Adobe Spark is okay, but it's more like a presentation. I think if you want to make a better website, you can use Wix. Okay. So creating a QR code is another digital skill. So we all have seen these QR codes used everywhere, no? So supposing you have a book and you want to immediately go to the web link of that book, there might be a QR code printed in the book, and that will take you to the book's website. You've seen that, no? And we see a lot of times, we see advertisements or posters outside which have a QR code which take you to a particular activity. So QR code is a matrix, a 2-dimensional matrix, which gives certain information. So it might say, it might go to a particular website or make a particular phone call or play a video. So you can have a static QR code or make a dynamic QR code. When it's a static QR code, you make a QR code, and when that is scanned, it will make a particular phone call. If it is a dynamic QR code, it will go to a website and the website might keep changing. So the new content will come in. So QR code is a 2-dimensional matrix, and you need 2 applications for this. One, you need a application to create the QR code, and second, you need a QR code reader. So this again is very straightforward. One of the nice tools for this is something called a QR code monkey. So it's a free code. So here, let me enter the website of Abdul Kalam Center. Okay, I've entered this. I can enter whatever I want. I can decide whether I want colors, I want single or different colors. Let's put this color, or if I want yellow, okay, green. I can add a logo image. Then I say create a QR code. It says there are errors in the website. So yeah. So it's created a QR code in green. That's what I chose. I can download this, and in my phone, I have a QR code app, QR code scanner. So this is my QR code. This is my QR code. And if I use a QR scanner, it immediately takes me to a URL that I would like to go to. So were you able to, are you able to scan this and go to that website? So if I share this QR code, or if I send it in a chat box, yeah, so I think somebody is able to see this. Okay, let me see if I can share the QR code here. Okay, I've just shared the QR code to in the chat box. So if you open it and then you scan it with your phone's QR code scanner, you'll be able to see this. So are you able to go to that website? Yes? Is it working for you, for at least one or two people? So making a QR code is quite easy. Okay, creating an ebook is also very, very simple. For this, you can use a tool. I tried, of course, there can be multiple ways of doing it. I'm just sharing with you something which is simple enough for me to do. So Canva is a tool which you can use to create a ebook. So for this, you can open your browser and go into Canva. And I have already logged in. So if you log in with your Gmail account, you can choose so if you want to make a photo travelogue, you can click on photo catalog, travel book. So I just created one today and let me just show it to you. It's very straightforward. You can change pictures. You can put in a picture and a text that you want. If you want to make an ebook of your memories of first year of college, you can make one. So this book, let me share this. So this is a PDF that's been created and you can view these books. So I did not add anything. I just used whatever photographs were there in this link to show you how easy it is to create an ebook. You can create an ebook with your own stories, your comments. You can make you can share a collage picture book with your friends. And if you've written something very good, you can actually publish it in Kindle. Yeah, so this again, if you have the content and if you have an idea of what you want to do, you can create an ebook. Okay, just two more skills. Chatbot. Okay, there is something called landbot.io, which is very simple and I would recommend that you use it. It's again very friendly. So there is I will share this PPT with you. So landbot.io, if you click on this, it gives you tells you how it can be done. So you can, when would you use a chatbot? You can, if somebody comes to the website that you created, you want to capture their email ID, or if you have created something and that somebody wants to give a complaint, you would like to track it or help a customer in identifying a problem, all of these times a chat bot is very useful if you have standardized the questions that they are asking. So let me share with you the chatbot I made this morning. So you go into this landbot.io. So here, this is a preview of the chatbot that I created. So it starts off with Namaste, and this pink is what I as a user am going to say hello. Immediately it says, I am so and so, I'm here to help you. And I'm asked to choose an option. There are 3 options for me to select. Option 1, option 2. So questions. So, and if I say this is the question that I want to click and I want an answer. So I ask this question, then I get an answer. So this is something that I have typed in. So this is extremely useful, and you can, if you go into this landbot.io, it gives you instructions about how you can capture somebody's email by asking a question. This is no programming to be done. You can only type in whatever you want and you can add images that you want. This is a landbot chatbot that you can create. Okay, last one is image classification using artificial intelligence. There is a website called Teachable Machine. There are, again, this Teachable Machine. If you search for a Teachable Machine, so you can train a computer to recognize your own images, sounds, and poses. So you can try a simple project. So if you need to collect enough number of images and you can train this system, Teachable Machine, to identify. So, it can be things like you want to identify a face which has a mask, which does not have a mask. So you need to have about 20 images with a mask, 20 images without a mask, and you train this project, and you will, after that, you will be able to recognize these. So here is an audio project on 1 second long sounds or text-based images from your webcam. So add post sample. So it gives you the instructions. So class 1 and class 2, you add the poses, then you train it, and then you preview. Okay, the instructions are very clear in the website. Okay. Okay, now comes the part where you all need to decide. We have 5 minutes more. There are a lot of other digital skills. For example, there is one way to make a geotagged map. For example, here I just wanted to create a map. This is a map of MGR University. So in MGR, nobody knows about the fountain in MGR University. So I have just, for my benefit, I've added the fountain in MGR University. Can you all recognize, all of you who come to the Madurai campus? You know where it is, no? There's a fountain here. The Ramanujan block is here. This is the Anna block. So I can add a link here. I can add this here. This is a foyer of Anna block. I save this. Then I can say, no, obviously there's something wrong. It says mechanical engineering block is here, but we all know mechanical engineering block is not here. Just need to move out. Yeah. So this is VOC block. this says mechanical engineering block is here, but this is Mother Teresa block. There's some other department there. So why would we want to create this geotagging like this? This is something that I can share only with my group. So supposing, there is from my center, I have 15 students. I would like to find out, make a geotag location of where each of these people are staying. Then I can find out what is the distance between their home and the department. I can find out the distance. I can use this ruler. So it's 41 meters. I can find distance. I can do a lot of other things. Or supposing there is some important information that has happened here, I can add more data regarding that. So there are a lot of things that people do by making this geotag. So you can create a geotagged map for MGR University, giving a lot of information on each of the locations, each of the different departments of MGR University from Google Map. So you need not share it. You can share it only with a group of people that you want to share. So I just created this. We can see a preview of this Google Map with the locations that I have put. And of course, I can give different colors. I can do various other things. So this is one other Google skill that we have. Now, okay, now Rizwan, have you made the groups?
Yes, ma'am. I have made the groups and I have uploaded in the Zoom as well as the WhatsApp.
Okay, let's take a look at the groups.
So two of them have joined later. So we have a total of 22 students. In the third team, we have six, I guess.
You
Six
can
students.
invite them.
Yeah. And we do have a guy called Battu Balaraju. So he wants to join in the second team. So please kindly ask him, rope into the second team also. He is about just now joined.
Okay, so you put 5 people in each team?
Yeah, exactly, ma'am. So
4
we have,
teams?
yes.
You think that's a good idea? I thought we should have lesser 3 people in one team.
Okay.
I think it's better to have 3 in one team.
Okay. Fine. So I will just redo that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so once Rizwan read us this, I'm planning to have only 3 people in each team.
Okay.
Because if it is more than 3, I know that the other 2 people will be silent members. So let me share with you the project ideas that I have for you to work on. Okay, here are some ideas that I have. I just put them here because I know it is doable. So for example, here. Now, if you can create a website which has a database of second-hand laptop dealers, to whom will this be useful? It will be useful to students or anybody who wants to buy a second-hand laptop. And you could have a chatbot which captures where I'm speaking from so that you can guide me to a dealer in that particular area. So you could either use a chatbot just to capture my email ID and mobile number, and then you can speak to me later. But you will need to collect some information on these laptop dealers, let's say in Madurai or a couple of different places. So you can create a website on Wix or sites, Google sites, on why second-hand laptops are useful. What do you need to be careful when you choose a second-hand laptop? Then what should you know? Some choice, some blog on what is needed. You can add a small chatbot. This is one idea. So I can imagine you can make, if this has enough users, you might be able to think of a business model of how you will get revenue from this. Okay, second idea I had was, the medical prescriptions that we have. Sometimes they are very complicated. We are not even able to read what the doctor has said. So if there is a QR code for each medical prescription, then that takes you to a website which has the information, the medical prescription information. So that will clearly tell me what medicine I need to take, what does it have, and what are the alternatives, and how long I need to take the medicine. So you might have to create a QR code for the medical prescription, and you might have to take this to a website which will have information on that particular medical prescription. So think of how useful this will be. So this is an idea that I have. Okay. Then the third is to create a website for people to decide on educational loans. So you can add an EMI calculator into this website. You can add blogs again. You can invite people to write blogs on their experience, etc. Somebody can create an ebook for quick and easy recipes, which a hosteler can make in their own room, or any bachelors or somebody can make in Chennai. Okay, here's one more idea. Make a lead magnet for a wheelchair stretcher combination. Make a website for admission to a college. So can you make a form, a Google form, which will capture the required information? If a particular certificate has to be uploaded, marks, etc. Collect data on symptoms after COVID vaccination. Geotag map of NGR ERA departments. Okay, identify people wearing a mask or not wearing a mask as they enter the university gate. Create a database of flora and fauna in the campus, which can be crowdsourced, a way by which you can ask your friends to enter data if they have seen a new flower or some animal within the campus. So these are some ideas that I have. And I think these are simple enough to do. At least a simple website you should be able to do. So what I would suggest is that 3 people that are there, at random, I'm going to pick one number and attach it to the list that Rizwan shares. And okay, how long do you need to create this link? The link for this digital product. Yeah, can I get some answers on chat, or you can unmute and speak? Will one day be enough for you to create a basic website or the Google survey form? What do you think? How much time will
Yeah.
you do?
Ma'am,
Yes, ma'am, we will try to do in one day, ma'am.
Yeah, I think one day, you need about 2 hours of talking to each other. Okay, I want, what I thought was, I want the pitch deck will have the name of your team or name of the product that you're giving, your team members, and what each person has done. So all the 3 in that particular group need to do it. You need to discuss with each other and decide who will do what. For those who are not familiar with the digital skill, you pick up any one relevant digital skill and learn. And I want you to create this. So what you will be doing, I will also send an email along with this PPT. First is your introduction, your team. Then the second one, your website or your digital product. You need to explain what is the problem you're solving, the customer segment or your target people. Then explain your solution in 1 or 2 slides, and your business model. When I say business model, how will you make money? and the link to the digital product so that we can take a look at it. So business model is about how you will make money, whether you will make money from membership, AdSense, or the supposing you are leading a group of customers to buy a particular product. Is there a way by which you will know how many people have been captured and how many conversions are there? So I want you to think in terms of this, and we want you to submit your assignment, pitch deck, and the digital product link tomorrow midnight 12 o'clock. Is that fine? Tomorrow is 30th June, midnight 12:00. Is that fine?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Now we need to just match the student group with the product. Yeah,
Ma'am.
Rizwan, is the group list ready? How many groups do you have?
7 groups in total, ma'am, almost.
How many?
7 groups.
Seven. Okay. 7 teams. So we will just at random pick up some numbers. Or do you people want to choose which product? Which of these 10 ideas? So have you shared it yet? So once you share it, I will email you this presentation along with the list. Okay, you want to choose the product ourselves, Vignesh. Can you do it? This is just a play work. You can create this, do it with this, and then, you'll have opportunities to build any product later. Right now, let's just have this team. Okay, so these are the 7 teams. So yeah, so you can choose one of these, any one of these. So let's ask if the first team is, first team 1 is Anupriya, Edilarisi, Lalit Kumar. Okay, how should we do this? We can share the list of projects and we can have a first come, first served. People can say which product, but that might become very complicated now. Okay, so Anupriya, can you quickly, Anupriya, Edilarisi and Lalit Kumar. So each of you can give your options, your choice of 1, 2 and 3. And then, so what I'll do is I will share this, I will share the whole PPT with Rizwan. So Rizwan will share it in the WhatsApp group. Then each of these groups will have to share their, you can say team 1, your preferences are project 2, project 4 and project 6. You can send that information either to Rizwan. Yes, I hope that's okay, Rizwan.
Yes,
and we will map and we will share with you which project each of you have been assigned. So it will be based on your choice, but you have to give 3 choices and we will look at either first come, first serve or some way to decide which project we can give you. So we will map and share it to you. Okay, by in the next, we'll wait for about half an hour to see if any of you have a choice. Like I think Syed and Rabi says he doesn't have a choice. Whichever project we want, we can assign them. We will do that within half an hour. So let me now, I'll close this to stop sharing. So I'm going to share this PPT. Okay, so I will, so we have come to the end of this. I've taken more than an hour. So I will share. So are they all in a team WhatsApp group, Rizwan?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I just marked few gray names, so I can't able to get the contact of those. It is not in my data.
Okay. So
Satya, Vamsi, and Vishnu Sai. So I hope the team members can call them, or you can call the team members and just join in the WhatsApp group.
okay. So the team list, please download this team list and let me also share my PPT right away. So you can download it in your system. Okay, so I've sent a PPT. The last two slides have these 10 projects. So it is 6:10 now. By 6:30, if you have a choice, if you have something, then you please message to Rizwan. Otherwise, I and Rizwan will map one particular project and share that with all of you. And tomorrow by midnight, we want you to upload the digital product. And by tomorrow morning, I will say, yeah, I already shared with you what all are needed. This introduction, your solution. This also we will share in the email. Okay. So if are there any questions, clarifications? Any questions or clarifications? Okay. If not, we can close the meeting now. Rizwan, do you have the email ID of each of these students?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, then we can send an email and also share it in the WhatsApp group.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, looking forward to your tools and see what digital product you guys can make in one day. Okay, bye for now. We will meet up again in a couple of days' time.
Bye, ma'am. Have a nice day, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.